ballista underscore whip. Or let's say this: if new durability is not 0, then we'll update it. This, or not update it. We'll display it differently. Build it differently. Because we don't want to update it until we say okay. Otherwise, we have to undo stuff when we're updating it. When we choose not to update it. So it's better to do it this way. So we're going to have this durability plus plus new durability. Typo there. So the old versus the old plus the so the current plus what's new, and we want to do the same thing on the max dur. So we're updating that as well. Else we just do the previous version. Come on. And wdir equals okay, close all that. Get rid of this and all this. Okay. Now, so for the parameters, the best way to do this is going to be to let's see. Let's see, draw icon, text level, okay, so parameters, there's that, so params. So I'm thinking the best way to do this is going to be a loop, but we have to figure out, so here's the thing with the loop. We're going to need to do something to handle this stuff. So every 1, 2, 3, fourth one, we have to reset x, and we have to add 15 plus the text width of the last item to x on each loop. So x equals 2 should probably be out here to start with. So this is going to be a for loop, obviously. There I1 equals 0. I1 is less than 5. And then I1 plus plus. So now, obviously, we have to do an if statement at the beginning here. So if I1 equals 4, in other words, if we're on the last element, then at the end of this we need to say I1 equals 0. And then also reset x. Now, the other kind of annoying thing is the fact that the stats we're using, they're not in order. In other words, these are actually stats 0 and 1, but we're not using them in the top part. Only in the extended part. So what we have to do is we have to build out a list of these, of the IDs for the stats that we're using. Not so hard to do. We just need to go over here and build them from what the because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up accessing the final params elements of the Game Sense weapon directly instead of through these getters, because we need to be able to use the ID values in this case. So let's just go ahead and copy this back over again for like the third or fourth time now so far. So we'll need to find the ID, find the variable over here for this, and then we'll just put, like, at the end of it, we'll put the ID that it is. So this is 2, I think. Def is 3, 4. These ones are easy because they're all pretty much in order. Alright, now this one is the one that gets kind of interesting. Luck, hits. So now, actually, this isn't even a different thing, isn't it? This is X params. Right. So that's going to be even more complex. Our node isn't. All we have to do is just make sure that we have them in the right order. Never mind. So 0, because if we put them in a list, it's just we're gonna pull the 0 out and put it in there, and boom, we'll get it. We'll need, well, the only difference is, so I was right. Not in the way that I thought I was right, but we have to be able to use, we need to know when to use final params, X params, and SP params for that though. So, we're going to have a couple lists, I think. Which is fine. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. So hit eval, evasion is 1. Critical is, so at least they're not mixed together. So there's not like a regular param, SP param, then regular param. They're in groups, so it's all the regular params, all the X params, all the SP params. HRG. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's any SP params in this first group. 7, 8, and 9 for the last ones, it looks like. And these are the bonus ones. So 0, 1. CEV is 3, 4, 5. I think counter is after MRF. Oh, so this is actually 6 and this is 5. Target is 0. I think that's all the S params all the way down, so it's just, yeah. Alright. So now we need to build a couple lists here. So let's call this var base F params. Just a static list is all we need to do. So just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Var base E params equals 0, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Then I'd rather put it down here on top of this, just so we keep those together with their logically organized, so they're with their own group of parameters here. So extended final params 0, 1, var extended x params 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll say e params instead of x params. And then all of them. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now this is where things get a little interesting. So for the first group, we have 6 and 6, so it's kind of a little bit easier, sort of. Maybe we should organize them in the actual groups that they're in, instead of by this. Organize them into whatever groups they are. So like so base group 1, base group 2. Maybe that's what we'll do instead, because that way they're actually going to be. We can just use the group list and put everything that's on that particular row together instead of having to try and figure out where things are broken up at. So we don't have to mess around with carrying over X's or something like that. So base P group 1, we'll say. P group 2. So there should be 3 of these. Three groups of 4. And we'll just have to keep track of which list to use based on the, based on where we're at. That's an easier thing to do than doing it the other way around. So same thing here. Okay. And I'm not going to keep them up here because now they're not broken down that way. It'd be easier to keep them down here with their sections so I can refer back to them. Maybe we can move them back up here after we've built out the logic for it, but for now it'd be easier to keep them down here. Okay. So this first group is so this is all final params, so that's fine. These two are final, these two are X, and the rest of these are X. There's no SP params in this. So if I1 is 4, then set it back to that. We need to have a I2. So what the I2 is going to do is going to allow us to track the groups that we're in. So if I4 is 0, then if I2 is 1, or 0 rather, So if I1 is 4 and I2 is 0, we're going to do something different. Else, if I2 equals 1, we'll do something. Else if I2 equals 2, we'll do something different. Just because we need to be able to have the to handle everything else, and then do else with the same configuration. It's going to be kind of a messy thing, but that's what we have to do. Oh yeah, and then I2 plus plus at the end of that. So, so this one's pretty simple. All we have to do, we can do this on both of them, because all these are from the same group here. Now, so or do we want to do it this way? I mean, not this way as in that, but I mean, how we have it set up. Maybe what we want to do is because we're not going to use all these things together, because we're only going to use the ones that are different. So we need to build this, something like this. We have to build it off of what we have in the new params. So let's kind of rethink that for a second. So first we need to build a list of labels, and they'll have to be in the order that we want to put them in, obviously. Well, they'll be in the order that they're in, I suppose. What we need to do, though, is we need to determine if the label is in the extended or not. It's extended. Because if it's in the extended and it's changing, we still don't want to see it, unless the option to show the extended params is on. Or do we? Maybe we show everything, even if it's extended with extended off, because that's a change. I think we'll do it that way. So, yeah, okay. Oh, that is right. So on this, because we have different groups of params that have the same IDs, we need something to identify what type of param this is. So maybe it'll be param S param X param. Maybe we'll do it that way. On the actual tag thing. So let's go back down here real quick. So we're gonna have params, and we're gonna have S params, and we're gonna have X E params. So also if E param, also if S param. So it's all, this code's all the same. So that all we have to do is just add those in to handle those particular entries, and then change this to what we wanted to make it. So as params. Okay, so now over here, this is better now, because now what we'll do is new params, new s params, new e params. That way we don't have to worry about handling that situation. So now, we still need to build this list though, but it's going to be easier. So, we will have a new, we need to make a new, so var new parm labels. There's going to be a list. Or should we make it an object? So it's going to hold. So this is going to hold no, this will hold the label for each one that we want to print. So this should be a list. It'll be a string list. So for so these are going to be broken down by the ID of the param and the, so it has to be a foreign, right? This is where the foreign is going to go in. For var PID n params, new params. So if should we check to see if it's got something in it? No, because if it's there, it should have something in it. So now how are we going to handle putting if it's an attack or whatnot? That we have to handle as well. So maybe on this we create a new. No, it wouldn't be here. It would, well, we could do it here, but I think it'd be better to do it here. We'll need to create a new function to return what type of parameter it is. So window web status. So I'll pass through parm type and parm ID. And in this now, we need to have, let's grab this real quick. So I'm going to create 3 lists. So parm names, eparm names, and sparm names. Probably should make it capital on the parm on these. And we'll call this bparm for base parm. Base param names. Alright, so mhp, mmp, attack, def, mdef, or rather mattack first, then def. AGI, luck, hit, EVA, crit, HRG. Oh wait, we've luck was the last one. Oh, whoops. All right, there's that. So EVA, or no, hit then EVA. then crit, and then CEV, MEV, then MFR, then counter, and then HRG, MRG, and TRG. And finally then TGR, GRD, PHA, MCR, TCR, PDR, MDR, FDR, and EXR. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we got one. We're missing one. REC. That's the one we're missing. That goes after GRD. Okay. So there's our lists of names. So all we need to do come on. Is say if parm type equals 0, then return b parm names parm ID. Else if parm type is 1, okay. That's all we need to do for that. And this way we don't have to hard code the names and don't need to know what names are going to be there. So now what we need to do now is say for base parms. So this one's going to be a loop of new parms. So we're going to use the final on this one. So on this one, all we want is the change. So just whatever's from in the new parm value. So new parm labels. Well, let's var first. Var parm string equals this dot get parm name 0 PID plus this dot set sign this new parms PID and then the level. So this dot underscore wep